So this next one is called The Paper Clown, and it's by Jay Northwood. I don't remember experiencing anything otherworldly until I was about 9 or 10 years old. This was 1976, 77. At that time, I still had a number of mementos from childhood, including an old Winnie the Pooh doll on my bed and a papier-mâché tissue paper clown hanging up on my wall, scattered about my room while I began the transition into young manhood, replete with models and science fiction books. The clown had played merry hell with my fears since a month after I made it, 5th grade art class, and I decided one night to get rid of it. I thought I'd accidentally spill something on it, trip while holding a soda perhaps, and force my mother to let me throw it out. She thought it was cute. Gack, I didn't. Well, 3 sodas later, and I thought it was just bad aim. The wall was soaked and the clown was dry. By the way, yes, I have seen bits of the movie Poltergeist, but not until I was 18 and out of the house. I had enough, so I wiped down the wall. Thank heavens the paint wasn't ruined. Ah, yes, the important things.
Especially at 9 or 10 years old.
That is true.
But it was the 70s. That was a butt whooping.
Probably would have done the house a favor if 70s paint's gross.
Yeah, but...
And filled with lead, probably.
Yeah, but
whatever.
It was the 70s. Parental abuse.
Sure. Took down the clown. It was a simpler time, really. Took down the clown and threw it away. Then went to bed. I remember dreaming, that it walked back in and said, "Naughty boy." But it wasn't there in the morning, so I went to school. However, when I returned home, it was there. At first, I thought my mother had retrieved it and put it back up, but she'd gone on to work after dropping me off at school. I shrugged, took it down again, and threw it out, making sure to push it to the bottom of the garbage can and putting a sack of trash on top of it. I really didn't like that clown. I did homework, then read a bit, and when my mom got home, she took me and my younger sibling over to my grandmother's for dinner. It was back on my wall when we got back. Needless to say, I was somewhat more than spooked out. I remember crying and telling my mother that I keep throwing the clown away and it keeps coming back. She told me I had an overactive imagination and to keep the noise down.
70s.
Sigh, parents. That night I had a difficult time sleeping. It felt like the clown was watching me.
Judging.
Finally, I got out of bed, walked over to it, and whispered, "What do you want? Why won't you just go away?" Nothing answered me. Just a clown. I shrugged, went down the hall to use the restroom, then went back to bed. The clown was now in my bed. Unfortunately, for my peace of mind, I did not say anything of the sort. I put the clown back on the wall using tongs, I wasn't going to touch it, and lay down to go to sleep. Just before I drifted off, I swear the thing rotated its flat head and began chuckling, a dry, dusty sound like dead leaves scraping across an old tombstone. I don't remember quite how I got rid of it, but the next day it was gone and stayed gone. Well, that was the beginning of what would become a lifelong association with the unseen, unheard, barely perceived paranormal. Some experiences were better and some worse, but this, I never forgot it, and I still hate clowns to this day.
Can't necessarily go with schizophrenia because it doesn't normally start with children.
And also clowns, so you know it's evil right off the bat.
I mean, clowns, yes.
Maybe clowns do exist.
I'm going to say, I don't believe the story.
That's
sorry.
a hot take.
I'm sorry. It's just, it was a little too much with the clown, and it's a papier-mâché clown.
You don't think, but see, we've kind of, oh God, I don't want to bring it back to demons, so I'm going to avoid the demon talk, but we've kind of talked about, let's just say spirits, right? Having the ability to terrorize children at will, knowing full well that the child could be like, yo, something creepy is going on with that papier-mâché clown that I made, and the parents going to be like, yeah, you're just overactive imagination. Go back to bed. You know, like, so they have this, there's almost like a free reign where you're like, I can do whatever I want to this kid. And so if evil spirits exist and they want to, you know, instill terror into them while they're young, they can just do all this crazy stuff that parents are never going to believe. And it's like, you know, kid in a candy store at that point.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
It made sense to someone out there.